Mr. Speaker, I stand in support of the budget, and I begin by acknowledging the additional support it provides for my residents living in private estates, especially frail seniors and seniors who are asset-rich and cash-poor. The budget measures help to ease their financial burdens and ensure that they can continue living with dignity and security in their homes. Today, I would like to center my speech in three areas: evolving our housing and national development policies to further support social mobility and community development; two, developing a holistic model to enable seniors in private estates to age in place; and three, ensuring that Singapore fully harnesses the potential of artificial intelligence by building a national AI system that is anchored on our values. These are critical issues that will shape our society and economy for the future, and I believe we must act decisively to ensure our policies remain inclusive, forward-looking, and resilient. Singapore's property market has remained strong despite multiple rounds of cooling measures introduced in the last few years. This underscores the resilience of our housing market, but it also raises questions about the affordability and accessibility for some young families and first-time buyers. At the same time, the global economic uncertainty, rising interest rates, inflationary pressure, and external shocks, not to mention the looming trade war, adds to the complexity of ensuring that our housing policies remain sustainable and equitable. In this context, it is critical that we continue to strengthen access to home ownership without destabilizing the long-term value of our housing market. And this is why some of the proposals put forward in this House over the last few years merit serious scrutiny. For example, the PSP's affordable housing scheme and millennial apartment scheme may seem appealing at the surface, but they risk destabilizing the housing market without resolving the core issues at hand. By removing land costs from upfront price of new flats, the affordable home scheme creates a two-tier housing market where older resale flats must compete with significantly cheaper new ones. This will put downward pressure on resale values, affecting homeowners who have spent decades building their housing equity in their flats. Meanwhile, the millennial apartment scheme, which expands the state-controlled rental housing, could dampen demand for both resale HDB flats and private estate rentals, reducing rental yields and making it harder for homeowners to monetize their flats in their later years. I am raising this issue because for many in Kebun Baru, their housing, my constituency, their HDB flat represent not just a home, but a key pillar of their retirement adequacy. A sudden depreciation in housing prices or rental value would mean less security, financial security for seniors looking to right-size or to lease out their flats to support their retirement. We must not take housing price stability for granted. In China, housing values were seen as rock solid until they were not. And now millions of homeowners feel uncertainty and financial distress. And it's not just in China. Sweden, Germany, South Korea, and New Zealand have seen meaningful drops in their property market value in the last few years. Now, Singapore's housing market is built on trust, careful planning, and a fair balance between affordability and asset appreciation. If we introduce policies that artificially suppress resale values and weaken the rental market, we risk shaking the foundation, eroding confidence, and hurting homeowners who have worked hard to invest in their future. While we should always strive to make housing affordable for young families and first-time buyers, we must do so without destabilizing the savings and retirement planning of existing homeowners. Our approach should be one of careful balance, not drastic experiment with uncertain outcome. The recent Plus Prime standard model is a powerful way for us to ensure that many Singaporeans, even those with less income, has a chance to stay at central locations. But there's more we can do. Specifically, we can look at the income ceiling and supply of our executive condos EC. Some young and capable Singaporean couples today find themselves earning just above the eligible threshold for BTO flats, but not enough to comfortably afford a private condominium. By increasing income ceiling, we can ensure that young professionals, some of whom do not have deep financial support from their families, still have access to public housing options. This allows them to own their own quality homes at reasonable prices rather than being placed into the much higher price point of private condos. And now that the supply and demand is more in balance, for the BTOs, I believe it is a timely period to consider this. At the same time, increasing the supply of ECs, our hybrid housing model, will provide not just aspirational yet attainable housing ownership for Singaporeans, ensuring that we preserve the well-structured housing ladder that has been a key driver for our social mobility. By strengthening rather than disrupting the existing system, we can make housing ownership more accessible for the next generation while ensuring that housing market remains stable and resilient. Singapore's public housing market has been one of the most successful in the world precisely because it balances affordability with long-term value retention. Instead of drastic experiment that risks destabilizing housing values and retirement adequacy, we should enhance our current framework to help young Singaporeans own home without compromising the financial well-being of existing homeowners. This is how we can continue to preserve the ladder of social mobility, ensuring that capable and hardworking Singaporeans can progress in life without extreme financial stress or strain or undue reliance on family wealth. Beyond ensuring housing affordability and stability, M&D can also play a greater role as an enabler of evolving social needs, making our neighborhoods more vibrant and inclusive. One way of doing so is by working with MParks, volunteers, and grassroots organizations to fully activate our community parks, particularly in private estates where community engagement may be more limited. Many of these green spaces remain underutilized when they could be more active social hubs. Therefore, I recommend that MParks could facilitate the development of community-driven amenities, such as public tennis courts, similar to what you see in, let's say, Luxembourg Gardens in Paris, or designate, let's say, pickleball courts, creating accessible space for sports and recreation. Additionally, investing in infrastructure to support Sunday markets, such as power and water access for pop-up stores, could transform these parks, including the upcoming beautiful Hillock Park within Kebun Baru, into a vibrant weekend markets, gathering spots, sparking stronger community bonds and giving local entrepreneurs a platform. By supporting such initiatives, M&D can help private estate residents feel more connected to the broader community, strengthening the social fabric of our neighborhood. I'm particularly delighted about the introduction of the EUP for silver estates, as well as the extension of EASE 2.0 to private estates, which benefit seniors in Kebun Baru. These are very important steps to ensure that our senior Singaporeans, regardless of where they stay, can continue to age in place safely and with dignity. Many of these seniors, especially those in our private estates, face unique challenges when it comes to home accessibility and care support. The government's effort to extend accessibility and upgrades and retrofitting private homes with elderly-friendly features are truly commendable. However, I believe that more can be done to help frail seniors, especially those in private estates, to remain independent and well-supported in their homes. One important way is to build active aging centers within large parks within private estates, such as the Kadadasa estate, which is part of Teachers Estate in Kebun Baru, which is also going to be benefiting from the upcoming EUP for silver estate soon. We can go beyond physical infrastructure to rethink how AACs can operate within these private estates. One idea is to develop a framework where AACs can work with domestic helpers with the full consent of seniors and their families, so that the small team of AAC staff can tap into a larger pool of caregivers to organize activities, providing companionship and extending support beyond the physical AACs. This will allow frail seniors to benefit from structured engagement within the parks near their homes. Additionally, we should also look at regulating senior care and home care services, ensuring that all service providers are digitally listed, transparent in pricing, and accountable for the quality of care provided. A trusted digital platform could help caregivers, whether it's children, grandchildren, or domestic helpers, to track services, billings, and medical needs in real time, reducing the stress of care coordination. Beyond structured care, technology can also empower caregivers and improve emergency response. One simple but powerful step is to extend the Singapore's app so that domestic helpers can help sign up seniors for local activities, while caregivers can authorize key decisions remotely. Furthermore, We should empower SCDF Emergency Service with digital access to homes of frail seniors should a fall detection alert be triggered. With proper safeguards in place, this will significantly reduce the response time in life-threatening situations. To truly build an ecosystem of care, we must bring together the private sector, residents, and government agencies to design a comprehensive framework that ensures that every senior, whether in HDB or private estates, receive the support they need. In Kebun Baru, we have one of the largest number of seniors living in private estates. If there's anything I can do as an MP to push this agenda forward, I'll be happy to step up to work with the government, industry, and community to make these ideas a reality. Aging in place should not be a privilege. It should be a right supported by the best our society can offer. Lastly, I would like to touch about how Singapore can fully harness the potential of artificial intelligence by building a national AI system that is anchored on our values. AI is advancing in an unprecedented pace, and we are rapidly approaching a future where AI will surpass human capabilities in certain domains. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, has observed that AI programmers could soon be among the best in the world within the next few months. Meanwhile, Google's DeepMind's AlphaFold 2.0 has effectively solved the complex challenge of protein folding, opening up revolutionary possibilities in biological and pharmaceutical research. These breakthroughs demonstrate that AI will fundamentally reshape industries, scientific discovery, and global competitiveness. It is not an issue of whether AI will transform the economy. It's a question of whether Singapore will lead or follow in this transformation. We have faced this moment before. In the 1990s, Singapore was ahead of the curve in embracing digitalization and computerization even before its full potential was clear. Our early investments paid off, enabling us to build a highly efficient and technology-driven public sector that continues to serve us well today. Now we must apply the same foresight to AI. We have a unique opportunity to leverage AI to enhance governance, streamline public service, reduce regulatory complexity for business, and empower our research institutes to push the frontiers of science and technology. By embracing AI early, we not only improve governance, but also strengthen Singapore as a trusted global hub for AI innovation, ethics, and responsible development. However, deploying an AI at a national scale is far more complicated than simply subscribing our civil servants to existing AI tools. Large enterprises and our government cannot simply embrace and adopt generic AI models off the shelf. Doing so will pose risks to security, regulatory compliance, and adherence to national values. Even cutting-edge AI systems such as Palantir, which integrates truth-seeking AI models like Grok, may not always align with Singapore's approach to governance. Such models may optimize for efficiency and raw intelligence, but they may not fully account for humanistic conditions or considerations such as social harmony, security, and ethical decision-making. We must ensure that our AI systems are both powerful and aligned with our national priorities. To achieve this, Singapore must develop a national AI system, one that is sovereign, human-centric, and cost-effective. But this does not require us to reinvent the wheels. Instead, we could consider collaborating with AI service providers that prioritize ethical AI alignment, such as OpenAI and Anthropic. Rather than building costly AI infrastructure from the scratch, we can fine-tune existing models to align with Singapore's governance framework and cultural values. A key component of this initiative could be the establishment of a Center of Excellence for AI Alignment, which will develop AI frameworks and ensure that AI models adhere to our needs. To keep costs manageable, we can leverage commercial AI data centers for training and fine-tuning of AI models rather than investing heavily on on-premise compute infrastructure. This is especially since we may face increased restriction on AI compute power from America's likely AI diffusion rule. Once fine-tuned, the national AI model can then be deployed within Singapore using both locally controlled AI data centers for inference and integration with sensitive national data set. This hybrid approach balances cost effectiveness with security, ensuring that Singapore has full control over critical AI decision-making while minimizing infrastructure investments. Building a national AI system fine-tuned for Singapore's value is not just an option, it is essential. AI-driven governance and business processes will increasingly shape regulatory frameworks, public sector efficiency, and economic development. Moreover, as we integrate AI-enabled e-businesses from global providers, our national AI can also act as a check and balance, ensuring that externally sourced AI solutions do not introduce misaligned incentives or government risk. Beyond our national interests, developing expertise in AI alignment will also enable and allow Singapore to influence global AI governance. AI will eventually be embedded into international decision-making processes, from global trade regulations to maritime and air traffic systems. By establishing a strong foundation in AI alignment, Singapore can contribute to the development of ethical AI standards globally, shaping the rules that govern AI at the international level. Additionally, this expertise will enhance Singapore's attractiveness as a hub for AI research and development, regulatory alignment services, and business continuity planning for global firms such as OpenAI and Anthropic. Let me now conclude. Our policies must strike the right balance between preserving what works, improving what is necessary, and embracing what is possible. In housing, we must ensure that affordability for young families do not come at the expense of existing homeowners' financial security. In aging, we must move beyond infrastructure and rethink care models that empower seniors to live independently with dignity, even in private estates. And in AI, we must act decisively to develop a sovereign AI system that serves Singapore's interests while ensure alignment with our values, securities, and needs, and our ability to shape the world. The choices we make today will define whether Singapore remains a beacon of stability, innovation, and inclusiveness in the decades ahead. With that, I stand in support of the budget.